Memory does indeed return to him. As far as his standing in the vampire community, the entire vampire community is pretty much under siege during this season, so I think the vampires are all going to stick together because they're fighting a common enemy. And that enemy is Michelle Bachmann.
Alexander. I'm from Sweden, and I'm just wondering what's the difference between the Swedish film industry and the American?
Oh wow. It's quite different. It's very, very small in Sweden. It's all, we don't have the kind of budgets that they have in Hollywood. And it's all basically independent filmmaking. But when it comes down to it, in front of the camera, it doesn't really, there's no difference. It's about the people you work with, the director, the other actors, the writers. And so it could be a $200 million Hollywood movie or a small Swedish indie, and you can, the experience on set can be very, very similar. The experience can be very similar. Yeah.
Go ahead, next question.
Oh, hi. My question is, well, Claudia, it was revealed that she helped bring out Suki's power, and now that she was killed, is that going to give Suki full control of her power, or is it going to lessen her power?
I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
I will say this, those of you who know the books know that fairies are born in litters and they're identical.
Hi.
That really didn't answer anything, but I was just trying to be mysterious.
Hi, my question's for Alan, and I was wondering if the storyline between Sam and Tara is done.
Nothing's ever done on this show.
Hi, my question is for Anna's character. It seems as though she's not reading lines as much as she used to, and I was wondering if there's a part of the storyline that involves that.
You know, I think that as Suki gets more sort of in charge of her own life, she's also seems to be more in control of her powers in general. She can still read minds, we just don't always hear about it. I hope that answers your question.
Hi, my name is Zainab. I'm curious if you guys know you have a huge fan in Turkey. Are you surprised with this fact a Mediterranean, Middle Eastern country is actually really interested in this show? And what would you like to say to your Turkish fans?
Thank you.
I personally am not surprised because I feel like the show is really universal. I feel like people all over the world like crazy, messed up weirdness. And I would say to them, thank you.
All right, go ahead, next question.
Hi, you seem to be working at least like somewhat at a book a pace, and I'm wondering how long you expect to be able to maintain this kind of timeline and keep this show on the air.
You know, it's a very organic process, the way we break the stories, and we have borrowed things from books later in the series and put them in, and I think as we get further down the road, it will probably become less and less. This season is based on this book, this season is based on this book. But as far as, I think the show has a tremendous amount of life, and I hope to get to the point where it becomes a problem for us in the writer's room to explain why the vampires seem to be aging.
I was here in the first panel that you had here, Mr. Ellis, and I noticed that you were very reserved and you had your hat down and you were sitting way back. And as a member of the gay community, I can only assume what kind of reaction it was you were expecting from the audiences, especially being such a resoundingly gay character in the Deep South. What in your experience between that first panel in this room and now has changed, because you were sitting up and you look very much more animated? So what has changed in your perception of your character's reception?
Well, I was scared. I was scared. I didn't know how the public would receive a character that was so outlandish and bold in who he was. I didn't know if he was going to be offensive or if I got it right. So I was nervous to hear what people was going to say to me when I came out. Plus, it was my first Comic-Con, and it was overwhelming. I was like, damn, it's a lot of people. But I'm a lot more comfortable now, because it seems like y'all like La, so I'm all good.
First off, I would like to say this to Anna. Sucky. My question is, all of you guys, your characters have superpowers, but where do you draw the energy to act for their normal lives? Where do you get the inspiration to put, you know, all this energy into Sookie, Eric, Bill, etc.?
I think for me, all these characters, even though they do have these supernatural aspects, they're grounded so incredibly firmly in a very human reality, and the things they go through emotionally all resonate really strongly. And I think that's why, I hope that's why people react to our show as they do. And for me personally, as an actress, that's where I tap into who Sookie really is. It's not her supernatural abilities, that's kind of the fun, bells and whistles. It's the fact that the things she's going through are incredibly real and really intense a lot. I think that's probably one of the characters.
I think that Ryan and I were talking about this before we came on, and it's, as you spend longer and longer in the business, you realize that so much, it doesn't matter about the producer, the director, or the amount of money that's being thrown into it, or anything like that. It comes down to the writing. And ultimately, unless the writing is good, you can't do it. And we've got this unbelievable group that surround Alan, and with Alan as the kind of crazy puppeteer at the top of the ladder. But, you know, you've got... But, you know, it's just an unbelievable room and an unbelievable job to be part of, to be able to make this stuff come to life, I think.
Hi, first thing first, my name is Brittany, but Nelson, can you call me Hooker really quick?
hooker.